Well, good morning, everyone. Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. Cheers to you this morning, this wonderful Wednesday. Welcome to episode 106. We like to kind of call this an espresso edition a little bit because we're going to be going through this pretty quickly. My partner, Colleen Schaefer of the Cramer Group, sends her best today. She's out and about. Like I said, we had a bunch of appointments yesterday, so she's following up on those. I'm catching up with her a little later today. She sends her best. Like I said, you'll be seeing her here in the near future as we'll chat a little more about real estate and lifestyle and community here on our show, which we love to do. So we are here Wednesday. It's a weekly recap. So we're going to go through the stats. Some of you may have caught the recent launch of our September edition, which is kind of that deep dive into September. But right now, we go that next step to where we are at right now, week to week in the Las Vegas housing market. So let's dive right in and take a look at the stats for this week, starting out of 10/12/2020. So taking a look here today, we started the week with 4,979 listings of single-family homes available for sale this week. Now that's down a little bit from last week's number of 5,011, but really down not by much. Of the 4,979 listings available for sale, 4,923 are traditional, 34 are short sales, and 22 are foreclosures. Now, a lot of that foreclosure short sale number, again, is showing a normal market, what we've kind of seen as the normal market situation for quite some time now. Forbearance, things of that nature, evictions, and foreclosure moratoriums in many cases are still in effect, and we will probably not see any of these effects here for the next few months, if any. Now, moving on to under contracts, we have 4,434 single-family homes under contract starting this week, and that's up a little bit from last week's number of 4,370. Of the 4,434, 4,305 are traditional sales, 101 are short sales, and 28 are foreclosures in the under contract space. And as you know, we'd like to track to see what's going on a couple other segments. We'll dive into those a little more detail here in the next slide. But back on markets, we had 209 listings go back onto the market as active. We had 589 price decreases. And the median sold price is at $337,500. So in taking a look at this, it's kind of, as we'll show in the next slides or two, continue to be in what I like to call that cruising altitude of our real estate market. We're sort of bubbling in that high 4s, low 5 range with available inventory, and under contracts are in the low to low mids 4,000 unit range. And so if we can keep those two in balance, we'll be turning over a lot of houses, a lot of inventory, and hopefully to keep the prices right, start to show some stabilization there. Now let's take a look over the week-over-week change, shall we? So overall, this last week, we had 788 new listings go onto the market. And then there you see the back on markets at 209. And then the price decreases of 589. In the under contracts, you'll notice we had 1,057 homes under contract. So again, we are still putting more homes into contract than we are new listings, and even now this week combined with back on markets. And then over the last 7 days, we had solds at 719. So again, still strong demand well into October, which is a great sign showing the robustness of our housing market. And as we're seeing right now, the election at this point in time has not had an adverse effect on buyer demand, and sellers looking to list their homes are still coming on at a decent rate to where we're still having enough inventory there to sell. So, again, signs of a very, very strong, very moving market. And again, enough inventory to just stay right ahead to give people some options. Now, the next couple slides we want to look at is the homes as far as how they're distributed by price point. So if we look at the under 250,000 price point segment, we have 389 homes for sale and 493 under contract. So we actually have a little more under contract than we do available. In the $250,000 to $500,000 price point, we have 2,908 homes listed for sale with 3,219 under contract. Again, similar situation where we have more under contract than we do available for sale. In the 500,000 to 750 price point, we have 778 active listings of single-family homes versus 528 under contract. In the $750 to $1 million price point, we have 297 homes available for sale versus 137 under contract. We're now also breaking out the luxury segment into a couple of groups. The $1 million to $2 million price point, we have 258 active listings with 123 under contract. And then finally, the top luxury segment, those homes over $2 million, we have a total of 206 homes available for sale with 36 under contract. So as you can see, across the price spectrum, very healthy signs of available inventory as well as demand. I would probably like to see that for sale number in the first two price points a little higher, so they're a little out ahead over pace. Because if you think about it, if we didn't add, let's say in the 250,000 to 500,000 price point, if we didn't add any more homes with what we've got demands and going into contract, if we didn't add any more homes over the next 30 days, we'd probably run out of homes for sale. So that tells you how strong that space is. It would be nice to be pushed out there about another week, another couple of weeks, say 45, low 40 to 45 day window of supply. I mean, that is still a short supply for any housing market, let alone, one as large as our population is here in Vegas. And then, like I said, as we move up in price points, they're in a little more balance. However, though, they're still actively moving. So we're seeing a very broad spectrum of demand and sales, which is great, because earlier in the early parts of COVID, the luxury segment, that was kind of sitting on the sidelines for a little while. I think they were kind of waiting and seeing what was happening. Well, that segment's pretty much been released and been moving quite actively over the last few months now. Now, lastly, we want to take a look at kind of where we're charting the overall sort of bandwidth from the last couple of months here, from early August to October. And as you can see, in the just general sense of actives and under contracts for the last almost 2.5 months now, we've been sort of holding steady at that cruising altitude range, as I still like to call it, in active sales. And then you can see that slight rebound over the last week. I think that has to do more with the month cutoff than anything else. And with our demand still staying in that sort of plus or minus 4,500 listings page. So again, those are just good positive even signs. Like I said, homes are still moving very quickly. We're not seeing any breakout signs like, okay, demands are really starting to outstrip supply. Supply is just starting to keep ahead. And we're also not seeing an excess of supply at this point in time, and have not for several weeks now, a couple of months. So it's like I said, that cruising altitude. And I think, like I said, the election will probably be not a major issue. Now, post-election, there's some talk about which way it's going to go. And in talking to a couple of those in the broader housing market industry, lending, things of that nature, I think it's more, it's probably a little bit more drama than not, with one side maybe being happy about buying or selling, and the other side maybe not being so happy buying or selling, no matter which way the election goes. So, anywho, love to see if you have any comments about today's episode or any questions about a particular part of town as to what's going on, because we can take a little more of a deep dive into some of those segments, because while we're looking at things across the Las Vegas Valley and things are showing a lot of broad activity, when we start getting down to the micro, which is the neighborhoods you're looking at, master plan communities, we can start building a strategy because there is such demand across the valley. We're encouraging those that are looking to buy or looking to sell to start looking a little further out than normal so we can plan what I like to say, sort of design your purchase, design your sale. It's not about, okay, hey, let's go shop, find something, because we have an opportunity with the low interest rates to really find a cool place for you that sort of, if not your absolute dream home, get you a little closer to your dream home and the needs you need for you and if you have a family. So give us a call if we can help you with buying, selling, or investing in Las Vegas real estate. And again, on behalf of Colleen Schaefer, I'm Don Cramer with the Cramer Group. Appreciate you tuning in to our weekly recap. And like I said, our Nespresso, our little shorter edition today. Tomorrow, got a great interview with a local business with James Donahue with Iron Kettle Embroidery. And we're going to be kind of talking about embroidery designs, personalization of items, and what they do as a business and how they've adapted their business in a post-COVID situation. So if you get a chance, tune into that tomorrow. And again, appreciate you tuning in today. Have a wonderful day. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.